Golfer 007, turn right, heading 185, reduce speed 180 knots.
185 on the heading, 180 on the speed Golfer 007.
Speedbird 124, reduce speed 160 knots to 40 me.
Reduce 160 to 4, speed 124.
Hello there guys, hope you're well, Matt here, and we're back in FSX, not X-Plane for a change. All these people that keep saying I've converted to X-Plane, it's absolute rubbish. I just like to use a bit of both. As you can see, we are in the Virgin Australia livery, which can only mean one thing. We are indeed in Australia. This was requested as a welcome on board series about 3 months back, so we're going to do it. It's from Sydney down to Melbourne. Virgin Australia flight 380. I'm going to do things a little bit differently today. I'm actually going to show you the planning process of how I get everything on the run, or everything up and running, shall I say. So let me switch the screen over to the planning computer, so to speak, and I will show you how I get to the stage where I can fly. Okay, flight planning PC, here we are. What you can see in front of you is flytowhere.com, and this is just so I could get the flight number. It doesn't really give me anything of any value because we'll be using PFPX to do most of the planning. But we do know that it's Virgin Australia flight 830, radio transmission, what am I talking about? Radio call sign of velocity, and it departed at 10:38 Eastern Standard Time and arrived at 12:03, duration 1 hour 24 minutes, so it's not too long. It was flown in the 737-800, you can see all this, flight level 360. So, we're going to take that information and we are going to run it through PFPX. So in PFPX we're going to create a new flight plan. It's going to be velocity 380, and we're going from Sydney to Melbourne, and that does not like that for some reason. Why doesn't it like that? Delete that and repaste that. There we go, nice. It's because I pasted it, it was a stupid idea really. Commercial flight, well, I don't really know what that is, so I'm just going to put 380 again. It's a domestic route, it's a scheduled air service, and we're flying Victor Hotel Yankee Foxtrot Charlie, which is a 737 you just saw and can hear in the background. All we need to do now is hit random payload, so it's 110 adults, 5 children, and it is carrying a bunch of cargo and a bunch of baggage. Now we need to find upper airspace, and it gives us the route. So routing, apparently taking off from runway 34 right. This is because of the weather, primarily anyway. I don't know if that's the runway they're using in real life. We could probably check that, but I can't be bothered. So we need to see if this matches up with the standard departure charts, or the SID charts, Marab 4. So let's go to Navigraph, let's filter it by SID, and have a look for runway 34 right via the Marab 4. So the Marab 4 departure goes out to the right, and then it goes to Marab, and then it's the Wollongong transition. Okay, it seems legit to me, so we're cool with that. So Marab 4, Wollongong there, Juliet 42 to Charlie Bravo, wherever that is, and then you can see the rest of it yourself. So let it find the destination alternate, which is Wyman, Wymav, Wymay, etc. Then we can compute the flight and everything is green. So we can release it, we can export it, and we can let that just get rid of the 01 on the end. Everything can go through into the NGX, so uncheck that and put that in there. Save that, one route saved, close. Not sure what that is, I'm going to delete that. Yeah. Okay, there's a delay of 7 minutes, that's probably because of that weird routing, but it gets us on the right track, so I'm happy with that. So all I need to do now is save it on my desktop. I'll give us a nice text file, and we can see now that the details gives us a zero fuel weight of 59.2.5, so 59.3 tons. Total fuel of 5.2 or 5.129 even, but we'll round it up to 5.2. OFP is here for ATC. we can see that the... oh great, okay. So the wind actually is not too bad. It's a nice tailwind actually for most of it. 110 knot tailwind. Well, not 110 knots, it's going to be about 70, 80 knots with that direction. So we should do this in good time. It's giving us an estimated en route time of 1 hour and 12, and considering the real one did it in 1 hour and 24, that tailwind pretty much just, well, it matches for what we would expect. So, everything's done, planning's done, I'm happy with that. Any NOTAMs, any weather we need to be bothered about? Not really. I'm just kind of scan reading. Anyway, it's flight sim. Do we really bother with this? You can if you want. Okay, back to the sim we go, and we'll set everything up. Okay, so, back in the sim we go. First thing we need to do is, with the PFPX document, we need to load the fuel and the figures, which is relatively easy. So grab the FMC, and then we go to FS Actions, Payload. We want to set a 0 fuel weight of 59.3. Once we've done that, we want to move to the fuel page, and we want to set total fuel of 5,200 kilograms. And you saw the wing kind of bend a little bit there, but nothing too crazy. So that is the fuel and the weight sorted. We're currently under the control of GSX. It's doing all of our, well, not catering at the moment, but it's doing the bags and the boarding of packs. I guess we could grab the catering actually while we're doing other stuff. There's a catering van over there. I mean, you've all seen this before. Maybe if you're new to this type of video and you've never seen all these add-ons, I will list them below. But the majority of you have seen them all in action before. Notice how there is no scenery for Sydney. We're on default with an AFCAD. That is apparently about to be changed by FlightAmper, so I look forward to redoing this video with decent scenery. Melbourne has scenery, it's from ORBX, and I do have it installed, so expect about 5 frames when we land. But hey, that's the price you pay. There's nothing else around. Brisbane was quite nice though. Maybe I'll do that in the future. I feel like I'm trying to make a promotional video for Virgin Australia here. So, let's jump in the flight deck. So, while the catering things are trying to get into our plane, let me open the doors for them. First thing we can do, overhead panel, is we can align the IRS, so double right click. And from that we can go into the FMC, go to the ident page, position initialization, type Sydney in. I can't remember what stand we're on, I think it's like Alpha 14 or something. Maybe that won't work, no it won't. I'm not even going to bother. Next page, GPS left, take that. Routing, well we have a company route, so we can just type YSSY, which is already there from the initialization. And then just add YMML on the end and grab that. Runway 34 right. Yeah, too much American. 34 right. And flight number is Velocity 380. Sweet. Activate that. The departure is that weird one beginning with M. There you go, Marab 4 with that wall transition that I'm never going to pronounce again in my life. And as far as figures go, well, we have 5.2 planned, reserve figure of 1.8, and a cost index of, I have no idea because I'm not sure what they use. I'm going to be cheap and I'm going to use 20. If anybody does know what the cost index of Virgin Australia is, please let me know. Transition altitude is 10,000 feet. Okay, we're going flight level, was it 360 it planned? 380. And the wind up at 380 is 290 at 113 knots, which is interesting. So from that, the outside air temperature is minus 52. And we can execute that. As far as performance goes, we can derate a little bit today, so 24k with 55 degrees. Courtesy of Top Cat, which I forgot to show you, so my bad, we'll do that next video. And that's flap 5 with everything set on the next page, that's all good. Let me just check the weather conditions. This is something that I'm unsure of. I've done a lot of NG flying, as you know, and this page always confuses me. I understand the bottom half, so forget the bottom half. But the top half, putting the data in with the wind and the slope, does that make a difference to the overall calculation? If you know, then let me know, because I have no idea. The surface wind here is 350 degrees at 13 knots. I put it in. I know maybe it's not meant to go in there, because I've been told differently, but there's never really any sort of, I don't know, solid answer. Next page, we'll take the speeds, what it gives us, so 144, we'll bug that in the MCP. And from that, we will set a runway heading, which is 335. And the initial climb on this is apparently not, it doesn't exist. There is no initial climb. So we'll keep it at transition altitude for now. Left flight director on, right flight director on. And we don't need anything on the courses. We can switch the auto brake to RTO. Check the progress page. 2.2 landing remain. It's not too bad. Everything else from here is fine. We can't import winds because it's not the 777. So that leaves us with LNAV to arm. We don't need VNAV. And we can bring the other FMC online. We'll just stick that on the, actually we'll put that on the legs page, and we'll put this on the takeoff page. So overhead panel, switch a fuel pump on, get the APU underway. There we go. Stick the logo light on. The seatbelt signs are already on. Hydraulic A side and B side off. Should I say A side on and B side off? Yaw damper, window heats. Packs are off at the moment. Auto on the isolation valve. The APU bleed can come on and the engine bleeds can go off. We're taking flight level 380, which is there. And that is us even, ready to push back really. Let's see how the catering is getting on. So I press 9, we can look. Looks like it's all going well. Are we done? We'll see what shift and W says. Oh yeah, we are done, so it's waiting for us to close up. I need to go back in here actually. And yeah, that probably pushed us the wrong way, but I don't really care. We can fix that. Menu, FS actions, doors. We can start to close everything now. So we can close the back, we can close the front and the left, and we can close the cargo doors too. Once the APU is up and running, we can transfer the the power to the APU generators. Whack all the fuel pumps on because we're ready to go now. Put the parking brake on. Get rid of the ground connections. Put that back on the takeoff page. I should probably use the right FMC for this, but it doesn't really matter. Engine display is on the lower ECAS. Anti-collision light is on. Catering services apparently are completed. Checking for the door lights, they're all out. Apparently we have a heads-up guidance display system in this thing. Whee! Look at that. It's the most trippy thing ever. Look, you're like, you've probably seen all this before anyway. If you haven't, then where have you been for the last 4 years? So, ready for pushback. I'll reset the QNH to 1010. That's all set. Clock doesn't need to be set. We're not on VATSIM, so no transponder, no radios. I think that is it. Okay, I'm actually just going to stop talking in a minute. That is us ready to go. I'll get rid of the gate. That can go. I suppose now would be a fantastic idea to grab one's yoke, which I've just done. Check that the anti-collision light is on. Yeah, it is, and we can start the pushback. Good stuff. So on the push, we can start number 2 first. Wait for 2.5% M1. N2's rotating, I think, or N2's rising. I don't know if it's a rotation. I think it's an N2 rotation, M1 rotation, yeah. 23, 24, 25, fuel in. Set the trim as well, actually. It's 5.02, so just up on the 5 will be fine. That engine noise will never get old. Never. for the starter cutout. You know, it's kind of weird. I mean, the performance isn't bad here, but considering considering its default scenery, it's actually really laggy. I mean, it's not like it's just not the same. It's really weird. Maybe I've just broken something. Okay, starter cutout, starting number 1. Anyone that's in for a wing view fanatic, or if anyone that is a wing view fanatic, should I say? There you go. Probably should work on putting fuel into the engine actually. Okay, so 2%, yeah, 2.3, 0.4, 0.5, there we go. I'm hoping it turns us the right way. It looks like it's going to do. I need the nose to go that way. Like, pretend I'm trying to draw a virtual arrow. Oh my god, those engine sounds are incredible. It's going to go the other way, isn't it? It's going the other way. Good job, Flight Sim. It's because I pressed 1 thinking that I was going back into the VC, and actually I didn't go back into the VC, I just pressed, well I did, but it also set the pushback to go the other way. Anyway, wait for starter cutout on number 1. Oh, we can't make its mind up. This is really weird. Okay, so we can transfer the power back over. Can't do anything with the hydraulics at the moment because the tow bar's still connected and it's just glitched a little bit. Okay, that's fine. We can put the ignition switches to continuous. We can put the packs on, put the bleeds on, take the AP bleed out, put the probe heaters on. And the only thing is left to do now is to get rid of the APU, which we can do. And then the last thing is the hydraulics. Oh, it's pushing us right way. This is good. This is what I like. We can get rid of the lower ECAS display. So, we're holding short of Charlie, and we've got to get to runway 34 right. This is one hell of a taxi. So, let's have a look. How are we going to get there? Ground overview. So, we're holding short of Charlie. So, it's Charlie, cross runway 25, continue on Charlie, then Charlie on Lima, and then on Tango, all the way down to Tango 6, runway 34 right. Where's Foxtrot? I see where we are. We're on Domestic 1, we've just pushed back from apparently. That's legitimately the name. Right, the pushback is finished. We can put the hydraulics on now. That should get rid of all the pressures, yes, good. Flap 5. Slowly going to flat 5. Whilst that's coming down, we can do a flight control check. I don't know if there is a specific direction to do a control check, just check that everything's free, it'll be okay. Okay, we're just waiting for GSX to go away, turn off lights on, and the taxi light on. And we are good to taxi when this guy shifts out the way. Anyone here ever flown with Virgin Australia? Are they any good? Or are they like the Ryanair of Australia? I don't know. Bye dude, see you later, let's go. It waves at you to say, yeah, you're good, see you later. You release the parking brake and it says, please set the parking brake. I'm just ignoring it. Let's go. Have a good trip. There we go. In a bit. So, this is Foxtrot. No, it's not. This is Charlie. We should go past Foxtrot, and then from Foxtrot we should pass Bravo 3, then Bravo 4, Bravo 5, Bravo 6, cross runway 25. This is one hell of a taxi to 3-4 right. Are they legit depart 3-4 right in real life? Is this like an Amsterdam sequel? Okay, so on the right there is Bravo 3, which is what I anticipated we'd pass. I'm just hoping the scenery is up to date and actually has things in the right place. So this is now Charlie. Oh yeah, Charlie 2 is on the left here. How do I get to cross the runway though? Because it seems like it goes to a bit of a dead end. Bravo 4 is that way. Okay, so we follow it round to the left. Yeah, that's Bravo there. You can cross at Bravo, but you can also cross at Charlie as well. I'm just seeing it now. If you look there, look at the control tower. It's the most trippy thing ever. It looks like a curly fry. And before people make fat jokes, you see them all the time in the UK, curly fries, and it literally looks like one of those has been kind of pulled out in an accordion-like fashion. Right, so this is... oh wait, hang on, this is... what is this? Is this Charlie or Golf? Golf is apparently on the left. Oh, I see, yeah, it's just kind of a little S-bend. It doesn't actually show that on the chart. Maybe this is a little bit outdated, the scenery. So we're going left here. And then we're going right here. Did you see the... look at the cars, they're kind of like disappearing, I don't know where they're going. Right, so this is runway 2507. Doesn't look like there's anything in the way. Why would there be? We're offline. So from here, this is just Charlie now, all the way down. It's a long taxi. You'll see some form of approach lighting over there. Potentially be runway 16 left. Yeah, it is, because this runs past the tower and then we turn left at the end. So I'm going to give it a bit of welly, give it a bit of power. There's no way they would taxi at like 15 knots down here. They'd probably go as fast as they dared. This is Bravo 8. Wacky races in a 737-800. And then round this way. Wish I had a handbrake, just pull it right now and just skid round the corner. I mean, when we get to the end here, we need to take the second left onto Lima. The first left is apparently Bravo 10, which is not what we want. There's that weird control tower. Look at the speed we're going. 0 to 60 in like, I don't know, 2 seconds. Right, here's our left turn. This is Lima. Brake a little bit so I don't skid. I wish we were off from 16 left. Look at that little speedboat, it's going ham. Cannot wait for the flight amper scenery for this place. Will actually make flying here pleasurable, and also world flight, because we've had world flight now for so many years and we've started and ended on default scenery. Nah, it's disgusting. I don't like it at all. Round we go. I'm really surprised that no one has done a Sydney scenery. They've done every other random scenery in the world. Like ORBX has done all of these little small fields, but never Sydney. Maybe there's a legit reason for that, I don't know. You'd think it would sell well. Right, so we'll turn right now onto this one because the next one is a dead end. And then we've got to taxi all the way down the full length of runway 34 right. Hooray. We could go from Tango 3 actually. I might do that. Tango 3 or Tango 4. No, Tango 3. This is Tango 2. The next one's Tango 3. We had a remaining of like 1,000 meters with this power setting, so we've got plenty of time to get off from Tango 3. So we'll do just that. Saves going all the way to the end. So we'll sit everyone down. We'll turn on the transponder. Doing 30 knots down the taxiway. Just what you need. Go on to taxi cam and you can see what it looks like outside. This is Tango 3 here, so you know we're not missing that much of the runway, but just saves going all the way around there. Taxiing on the centre line even is a thing of the past for me. Apparently I'm incapable of doing it. I don't know if you were watching my stream before, but talking about centre lines, I tried to land an X-plane with the 737-200, the FlyJ Sim 737-200. Go check that out if you haven't, by the way, it's amazing. And there was about a, I don't know, it's about a 13-14 knot crosswind, and when you land, you do something called decrab if you're playing it that way. You can do two types of crosswind landing, but the one I was doing was where you decrab it right at the last minute. And I decrabbed it, and as I decrabbed it, I didn't counter it with opposite aileron, and my wing almost slammed into the ground. That is how crazily realistic X-plane physics are, and it scared the living hell out of me, because I actually thought I was going to crash, and I was on pilot edge as well. Plus I was doing shared cockpit at the same time. And the guy that was doing it with me, which is Chris, also shameless plug for Heli Pilot 7 on Twitch. Yeah, he just was like, Matt, what are you doing? So anyway, lights are on, auto throttle, start the clock, 40%. And here we go. Toga. Airspeed's alive and passing 80 knots now. V1. Rotate.
V2.
Okay, maybe I didn't have as much runway as I thought I had. My bad, this turbulence is real, and whatever. So, following LNAV to the right now. Good old Australian weather systems. Round we go. Anyway, we can do level change, and from that, I'm going to stick the autopilot in because this turbulence is quite ridiculous. Oh my god. Whoa! Whoa! Okay, let's start speeding up. Let's have a look what that looks like on the wing. That must look insane. Look at that. That's a beautiful view though. Admit it, guys. That looks spectacular. Flaps are coming up to 1 now. I should really be looking out the front, but sometimes you just can't pass up opportunities to see views like this. There we go. Back to the VC. Oh, okay, that's why I should have looked at the front. Look at that. It's not flying very well under these circumstances. It's not like the turbulence. Maybe I should not have looked out front. Right, we can increase to 250 knots. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to whip the heading round to about we'll do 160. Heading select it, and then I'm going to climb as fast as I can to get above this weather, because it is really quite bad. Set flight level 380. Try to anyway, there we go, 380. Speed in, altitude intervene even. Flaps can come up now, gear off, auto brake off. This is crazy. Look at that, the wing is all over the place. Good old Australia. Good old Australia. That is insane. It's like, the weather doesn't even look that bad as well. Anyway, we're going to go own navigation now, direct to that place that I can't pronounce. LNAV it. Set standard pressure because we're going to a flight level. Switches can come off in continuous. See that? I'll get rid of the landing lights now. Oh, not the fuel pump. That was a bad idea. Landing lights now. Taxi light can come off. Logo light can come off. It's daytime. It's not really anything to be worried about. That view though is nice, even though it's windy as hell. Look at it go. Is it always like this in Australia? Is the weather always this terrible? Because if it is, I don't think I ever want to come to Australia. Okay, so we're direct to Whiskey Oscar Lima. I think we're out of the bad weather now. That was a smart move, not carrying on out towards the sea. 30 knot crosswind, but it's stable. It's not screwing us over. Just passing flight level 125. Everything's looking good. The weather has rectified itself. It's not turbulent really now. Look, the wing is pretty stable. Those clouds look pretty awesome. Let's have a look at the taxi view. Look at that. Away we go. Down the coast. Down the coast indeed. So this flight isn't too bad. I might split it into two parts. It seems sensible to do that, because this first part is already, I don't know, 35 minutes long, and watching 1 hour videos isn't good for your health, nor is making them, by the way. But see, it's just the things I do for you guys, the things I'm joking, just ignore me. So what I will do is I'll go back into VNav, and we will leave it climbing. So all that's going to happen now is we're going to climb to flight level 380, and we're going to sit at 380 for a while. So part 2 of this video will be approaching descent, and we'll go through all the descent preps, and we'll land. So I hope you enjoyed part 1. If you did, then you know there is a thumbs up button. Share some love, share some happiness, or be a hater, as Wasgob once said. Haters gonna hate, potatoes gonna potate. I'll leave it at that. See you in part 2.